Hey everybody, it's Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you a totally different card. Today my friend Tony and I have decided that we want to start a card drive for the survivor, family members, and friends of the victims in the horrific Orlando shooting. We want to make sure that we can celebrate their lives by sending their family members, the survivors, and friends cards. So let me show you a card that I quickly made to share. I will have all of the information in the comments or the area below, as well as over on the Facebook group that I will share a link to. Please, if you can, we would love for you to participate so we can share the love with this community. All right, I'm going to try to do this video without any edits because I really need to get this up on my YouTube channel. So let's see how that goes today. All right, so I'm just starting with a white piece of cardstock, and I'm going to use the My Favorite Things. This is the Blueprint 15, and I want to cut out a border. I didn't want to just cut one out. I actually wanted to have the stitching. So let me grab my Big Shot. And I'm going to show you how to make a really pretty rainbow card. The cards that you guys submit do not have to be rainbow inspired. This is just something that I came up with. And I know it's hard to make sympathy cards, so I wanted to have one that was a little bit more uplifting. Again, the theme for these cards do not have to be rainbowed. This is just the design that I came up with. All right, so I'm going to run that through my Big Shot machine. Move that out of the way, and then I'm going to be left with this really nice stitched border right around the edge. Now, to keep my rainbows right in place across my card, I had a little bit of a trick. So I'm going to take some of the Elizabeth Craft double-sided adhesive. I'm going to line it up with my card base or my card panel, and I'm just going to cut out a piece that will fit underneath. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to make sure I have some of the adhesive on the majority of the back of this. Okay, so I'm going to peel off one side, and it doesn't make a difference what side I start with. I'm just going to peel that off, and I'm going to line the back of my card panel with it. I'm going to use my grid board so I can line everything up. And again, I just need to make sure it goes over the majority of the card panel so that my rainbow will stick. This extra right here, I can go ahead and grab some scissors and I could just trim that off because we're not going to need that. All right, next I'm using the die and the cloud from the My Favorite Things end of the rainbow. I'm just going to line my rainbow up. I'm going to grab just a little bit of tape just to hold it in place while I run this again through my Big Shot machine. Just going to grab that, grab my plates back. I'm going to load that up, and I'm going to run that through. Oops. Alrighty. I'm going to get that out of the way. And now I can set this aside. Alright, because I used the adhesive already on the back of the card, I'm going to very gingerly pull my tape up. Of course, because I want to do this with no edits, I'm going to have issues, right? Of course. All right, so I'm going to pull that up very easily. So I want to make sure I do not rip my card base. So I'm going to be very gentle with that. All right, perfect. All right, now when I lift out my die, you see my rainbow pieces stayed intact in my card. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my rainbow colors, And I'm just happening to use distress markers and a distress ink pad. So the colors I'm using are Candied Apple, Carved Pumpkin, More Mustard, the Lucky Clover, the Blue Print Sketch, and a Wilted Violet. Now, you can leave the rainbow pieces in here or you can pull them out. I kind of like to remove mine because I have a tendency to go over the lines. So I'm just going to lift my rainbow up. Just going to peel that back. I can set that aside for now. And now I'm going to bring in a craft mat. And I can temporarily stick down my rainbow. But I'm going to pull it apart, each little piece apart. And just bend them. And I just want to kind of break that adhesive seal on the back. And I'm still going to have plenty of adhesive to stick to my card. So now I just need to lay that down. And I'm going to quickly just go over each part of my rainbow. All right, so that is my red. Like I said, if you feel it's easier to keep these intact, have at it. But I've made this card like 5 times, and the best way for me to do it is to separate them. Otherwise, I get my colors and I end up coloring over one piece that I did not mean to color over, and it becomes a mess. So I'm just going to break that seal again, that adhesive seal. So you can see how tacky this is, right? So we know that's still going to stick to our card. I'm going to put that one down, and now I'm going to come in with that mustard seed. Go over. Now this is where I don't have the green marker. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that green one apart. And while I do it, I'm going to go ahead and pull these 2 apart now as well. Just want to keep them in the order. I'm going to move these aside really quick so I don't get any green on them. And now, since I don't have the marker for this, I'm just running my ink pad over. So if you do not have markers, do not fear, and you only have the ink pads, just run your ink pads over them. It's going to clean up that mess so we don't get that color where we do not want it. Let me grab a towel, clean that up, and then I can go back in with my next color. So my next color is going to be the Blueprint Sketch. Again, just 1 or 2 swipes over it. And then my last one, let me bring that into the camera a little bit, is going to be the Wilted Purple. All right, now what I need is a piece of black cardstock, because that is what I'm going to put my panel on. I'm going to trim down this piece of cardstock because I'm going to put it on a white card base. You guys know me. I love white card bases because it makes it easier to write a sentiment in the inside. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. And before I insert back in my rainbow pieces, I'm going to go ahead and insert, or place this rather, onto my black. So I'm just going to grab that backing off. Gently pull that down. And make sure that's straight. And then I'm going to put my panel down. Now, this is where it comes just like putting back together a puzzle. And one thing I can tell you, don't worry about if it doesn't line up here. Just make sure it lines up across the bottom. So I'm just going to turn this sideways for a minute. I'm going to make sure that's lined up. And I'm just going to insert my colors right back in. Like I said, if you can do this without messing up your colors, when you color over each one, if you're using markers or watercolors, have at it, sweetheart. I just find it easier if I take it apart and put it back together like a puzzle. All right, so I'm just making sure I line up my bottom And like I said, it's going right back in like a puzzle piece. I'm gonna line the blue one, and then that last one fits right in the end. Alrighty, and there is our rainbow. Alright, so next all I have to do is come back in with my clouds. I've already die cut out my cloud pieces, but to add a little bit of color to my clouds, I didn't want them to be white. I'm just going to grab some of my BG and my B00 markers, and I'm just going to lightly go around the outside of my cloud very quickly, just to add a little bit of color. I just didn't want them to be white, because you know, clouds do have a little bit of a hue to them, if it's a blue or if it's a light gray. I'm gonna go back in with that B00, 3 zeros, sorry about that. I'm just gonna go in and add a little bit more shading, just a little bit. Just kind of really just makes the clouds pop a little bit against the white background, because remember, we have an all white background, so we don't want our clouds to get lost. Just gonna go around the edges, and then I'm just gonna come over with a colorless blender and just kind of fade out the line a little bit. Same thing on this. Just gonna add a little bit, and it will just fade out some of that harsh line. All right, our card is almost complete. So now we're just going to stack our clouds. So remember, I said if these didn't line up in the background, it wasn't a big deal because we're going to be covering them, right? So we can go ahead and put down our clouds. I'm just seeing what arrangement looks best. And I think I like that one. Now on one of these, I need to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. So I already have my sentiment on a block, and I chose the word united. And these alphabets are from Fawn. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down, and I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And now we can finish putting our card together. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my tape runner, and I'm just going to start assembling my card. We're going to put one there. We're going to put a cloud right here. And then for my last one, I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape. Put that towards the top, and then I just want to stack them. All right, so like I said, you guys know I love white card bases. So I'm just going to cut down a card base really, really quick. Sorry, I'm not on camera with this. Just going to cut down a card base. Go ahead and score it. Can fold that over, crease my line, and then put on my card panel. If you happen to make a card and you want to join in on this calls, please make sure you take a picture of your card, hashtag it, Pray for Pulse. Pulse happens to be the club in which these wonderful souls' lives were taken. So this is the information right here. If you would like to take a screenshot of that or write the information down, you can go to Katie's Creative Closet, hashtag all of your cards that you put on your social media, Pray for Pulse. Make sure to share it with your friends. You must send us the cards by January 25th. Please include envelopes and stamps if possible. sign the back of your cards with your name, state if you like, and uplifting cards, please. No sorry for your loss. We want to uplift these individuals during this horrific time. All right, everybody, those are my cards for today. Thank you guys for sharing in this great opportunity with us. Like I said, I'll have all the links right below. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach me over on my blog, and that is Godjoy Creations. And I will see you guys soon. Again, the blog is godjoycreations@blogspot.com. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.